What's up guys, it's Joe with Station Athletics, and today I wanted to review one of the most used machines in our space, and that is the Concept 2 rower. All right guys, first thing that I kind of want to review is the damper setting, and that is here on the side of the rower, and you can see that it will move up and down, all right? It's listed 1 through 10 from a resistance perspective, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the most difficult. What this basically means is the lower the number, the less airflow that is going into the fan. The higher the number means more air going into the fan, which is going to be a higher resistance or effort. All right, so let's talk about damper placement. This all is going to vary based on the workout that I'm trying to perform on the rower. An example of that is if I am doing a sprint, I can handle a higher power output, so I can move the damper setting higher into the 7, 8, or 9, or potentially 10. Right? If I'm doing a distance, let's just say 5,000 meters, I need to maintain a steady pace. I need to keep that damper setting lower, hypothetically, let's say 5 or 4. All right, so the next thing that we want to review is where do you put your hands on the handle, right? So you want to make sure your hands are on the outside of that handle. So when you pull, you can keep a nice retracted shoulder position, okay? If my shoulders or elbows are down, or if I'm too wide and rounded, I'm going to be in a very awkward position. Okay, so again, nice and upright, pulling directly below my chest. All right, now to build off of that hand position, let's talk about the actual pull. So when rowing, you're gonna be in 2 positions as you're pulling, and that is going to be at 1 o'clock and 11 o'clock, okay? So to understand that concept, as I'm initiating my pull, I do not want to be leaning forward more than, if you're looking at a clock, more than 1 o'clock on that pull. As I'm pulling, I am not pulling beyond 11 o'clock on my extension or my layback. This is going to maximize your power output to be able to keep that wheel spinning on a nice consistent basis. All right, so let's discuss the next part of the pull, and it's what we refer to as legs first. So you're initiating your first pull with your legs to a hip drive to an 11 o'clock lean followed by your arms. So I'm starting in that 1 o'clock position. I'm driving to legs first, followed by my hips, to an 11 o'clock position, then followed by my arms. All right, the last part here is understanding what we refer to as handle recovery. The handle recovery is important because it is going to be setting you up for your next pull, right? So when I'm in that fully extended position on that stroke pattern, I do not want to allow my shoulders and my arms to come first because I'm gonna have a hard time with that handle recovery, okay? So what we call this is a handle push down. So I want to push the handle down to my knee and then follow this in a swooping motion to keep that chain in a nice straight position, okay? This is gonna allow me to stay in a very strong 1 o'clock and 11 o'clock position on my pulls. All right guys, so just follow those couple cues to improve your rowing ability, and I'll see you at the gym.